Welcome back. I'm here with Football League editor Pascal Lemaire to talk about Saturday's championship match between Nottingham Forest and Cardiff. Start with the visitors. Pascal, still unbeaten in the league, but did fall to defeat in the cup this week.
Yeah, that was disappointing to go down in the cup, but like you say, still unbeaten in the league. And I've been quite impressed with Cardiff's results. Actually, I thought, look at the squad they've got and how they didn't do much under Russell Slade last year, and I thought they're sort of being for sort of a lower half finish this year. But they're sitting seventh at the moment, and they've done pretty well since they had that opening day draw against Fulham, I think it was, and certainly their last league win over Wolves was a really impressive one. You welcome Wolves, who, even though they've been sort of a bit on and off with their start, to win 2-0 at home and keep a clean sheet against the likes of Benicofobia especially and Nua Dicko. You think that they've done quite well there, but the midweek defeat was disappointing, but they were struggling with injuries, and there was a bug in the squad as well. I know one player had to go off during the game because he was struggling with his stomach, so it just shows that there was obviously problems in the camp, and to go out in the cup it is disappointing, of course, but at this stage of the season, when if you really want to push for the playoffs, a lot of teams probably wouldn't mind going out of the cup, because it really means you can focus on the league until the FA Cup comes around in January. So it's disappointing to go down, especially to a fellow championship team like MK Dons. That was not the best result, but certainly seventh in the table, still unbeaten. They're doing well in the league.
As for Forest, they're sat mid-table. How would you assess their start to the season?
It's been okay, I think. They've struggled to sign new players, and certainly the defeat against Brighton on the first day was disappointing. That first Friday night game, there was a lot of spotlight on it because it was the first game of the whole season and weren't able to score there. But since then, they got the first win over Rotherham and then 2 draws in a row recently. I mean, last weekend was a very disappointing draw the way it happened, because they go to Bolton, who are struggling down at the bottom, hadn't scored going into that game, and they give away a penalty, which you think probably they're going to fall behind here. But then Doris de Vries makes a great save from the penalty, and you think, right, so now's a chance to push on. They get the goal through David Vaughan, fantastic strike, really arrowed it into the top corner, and then to concede the way they did really late on, it was Dobby with the equaliser, somehow snuck in at the near post. And obviously you never want to be the first team to concede against a side who's been struggling for goals, which obviously isn't a good thing. But certainly the way they've been able to keep most of the squad together with the transfer embargo. I mean, Michael Antonio, it's just still got about 6 days until the transfer window now, and if they can keep him by the end of the deadline on September the 1st, it'd be absolutely huge, because he's their star player, with the likes of Andy Reid and Asson Balonga still out injured. And I've seen a recent report saying that West Ham might be interested in Antonio, but they might offer Matt Jarvis as part of the move. And I think certainly if they are going to have to sell him, I think getting someone in return as part of a deal is a good idea, because they can't go out and sign anyone for big money because they've got that embargo. So if they can get someone as part of a deal, that would make sense. And Matt Jarvis is not the same type of player as Antonio. Antonio is explosive and goes past players, whereas Jarvis is a bit more tricky, but he's a winger with a good cross on him. So if they can get someone in return like that, it's a good idea for me, and they'll be certainly looking to do that if they have to sell Antonio.
What's your score prediction for this match?
I think it's a tough game to call, because Cardiff have had a solid start to the season, still unbeaten in the league, whereas Forest, both sides, I think it's got draw written all over it, to be honest. I think Forest, they're struggling to sort of win games at the moment, whereas Cardiff, this is a tough game for them on the road at the City Ground, so I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
Sportsman going for a 2-2 draw.